According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the ratio of women's and men's median annual earnings reached 77 cents on the dollar for full-time year-round workers. In Michigan, that amount is 74 cents. Red is worn on this day as a symbol of how far women and minorities, quote, in the red, are with their pay.
It is great to see all of you come out for this very important cause. As you know, we are here because we collectively stand for the principle of equality and fair pay, equal pay for equal work. It is tragic and frankly embarrassing that we're still having to have this conversation in the 21st century. Nowhere else in society do people question this basic principle. When boys and girls in school take tests and they get the same percentage on the test, they don't get different grades. When men and women pay their taxes, if they make the same income, they pay the same tax rate. And yet we still have people, the very people who are in control of the legislature, and many people who are in national office or are running for national office, somehow claiming that women don't want equal pay. They claim that they'd rather take their children to the dentist appointment, as if the two are mutually exclusive. They ignore the fact that without equal pay, they can't afford to take their children to the dentist appointment. And we have been fighting for years here in the state legislature to guarantee this basic principle of fairness and equality. And despite how basic this common sense principle is, we still have people dragging their feet here. And they're essentially saying to our daughters that no matter how hard they work, no matter how well they do, they're going to always be treated as second-class citizens. That is wrong. And we have introduced a bill here in the legislature, in fact, a package of bills in both the House and the Senate, and they have been languishing for over a year because those in control have refused to take these important bills up. It's just the latest evidence that the struggle for equality continues, that the cause for justice endures, and that with all of your help, we're all going to persevere, we're going to win this battle, and we're going to make sure that we pass these bills and ensure basic equality and dignity and fairness for all of our citizens and for all women in the state of Michigan for generations to come. Thank you for being here.
So we have introduced a package that will introduce fairness into the workplace. And I'm very proud to be the sponsor of House Bill 4519. And this would hold employers accountable for establishing fines for companies that violate pay equity rules. And that would go hand in hand with another bill that requires employers to provide equal pay for equal work when employees with similar skills and experience do the same task. Not different jobs, not, the same job. Another would create a state commission on pay equity, requiring employers to provide wage information for similarly situated employees when workers ask for it. These are fair and they're common sense.
Thank you. Again, we here in the legislature are really glad that you're all here today to learn more about the travesty that's going on about lack of equal pay for equal work. I also introduced a bill, and I know that some of you were at the learning session this morning, and there were some speakers, and the equal opportunity person said this statute that requires equal pay for equal work is the least equal opportunity, employment opportunity statute that's being used, means that people don't know about it. So your job, we're hoping that all of you go out to your communities and reach out to your friends and family, and not just talk to your mothers and sisters and daughters, but your husbands and your brothers and your sons, because this affects all of us and all of our families.
Thank you very, very much. I'm Representative Diane Slavens from the 21st District, and I am the sponsor of House Bill 4517. This is a commission that would bring together representatives of state government, business organizations, labor organizations, and women's groups to focus on the issue of pay equity. Working together, the Commission would create guidelines and would ensure women get a fair deal on the job. This isn't only about laws and regulations, though. When young women know they can find equal opportunity here at home, they'll stay here in Michigan and start their careers, and that's what we want. We want our daughters and our granddaughters to stay here in Michigan. We have talented and skilled women from out of state that'll also be drawn to Michigan to live here and raise a family. Making sure that women are treated fairly on the job is good for the economy and right for the state of Michigan.
And I am proud to be here today standing up for women's rights to earn equal pay, especially for my daughter, who I know is going to want to be recognized and rewarded for the work that she does in the workplace. I was recently at an event where Senator Debbie Stabenow was talking about pay equity issues, and she recounted a story of a woman who was an engineer supervising her department. And it wasn't until that company actually closed that she found out that she made less than the male engineers that she was in charge of. That's outrageous, outrageous. And that's why I am proud to sponsor House Bill 4561, which actually gives women the right to ask their employers simply for wage information of their coworkers. Let me know. My counterparts, do I make the same pay that they do for the same work that they are doing as I am? So I encourage, for those of the legislature that simply want to bury their heads in the sand and ignore that there is actually an issue out here that needs to be addressed, let's pass these bills, let's get this legislation done, and let's ensure that women across our state have the ability to earn fair, equal pay as their male counterparts. Thank you.
What we've outlined here today is a set of bills that will make sure that women have the protection and the information that they need to ensure pay equity in Michigan. These are great ideas, and I'm proud to support them in the legislature. That said, it's unfortunate that since these bills were introduced last year, House leadership has refused to take them up for consideration. So far, they have sat in the House Government Operations Committee, and they have not received a single moment of discussion or testimony. I am not sure why anyone would be against fair pay in the workplace. And so I have a simple request today. We are calling on Representative Pete Lund, who chairs that committee, to give these bills a committee hearing.
When do you want it? Now. What do you want?